Hey, good evening, everybody. Good to see you. I just want to mention the fact that we're going to begin a series on gratitude tonight. I kind of enjoy this series because my sponsor constantly tells me to keep making gratitude lists. So I guess I'll have to give lectures on gratitude so I can make sure the lists are for real. They really work. Okay. I want to begin by doing a reading from the language of letting go. I picked a reading for August the 1st. Fits right into this whole series. Gratitude. We learn the magical lesson that making the most of what we have turns it into more. Say thank you until you mean it. Thank God, life, and the universe for everyone and everything sent your way. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger to a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Gratitude always makes things right. Gratitude turns negative energy into positive energy. There is no situation or circumstance so small or large that is not susceptible to gratitude's power. We can start with who we are and what we have today, apply gratitude, then let it work its magic. Say thank you until you mean it. You say it long enough, you'll believe it. There will shine the transforming light of gratitude on each and every circumstance of my life. I wanted to read that because when I talk about gratitude, and I'm going to be doing like a 5-week series on gratitude, and what I'm going to be doing over the course of the series is building what I call a mosaic. I call it the gratitude mosaic. What I'm really doing is trying to put together all these pieces that make for the concept of healthy gratitude. One of the things we realize in the course of our journey, and I've shared this so many times before, that when God created us, got us ready, and brought us into this world, God gave us 3 basic gifts. The first gift he gave us was the gift of life, the most powerful, most beautiful gift of all. And every day when we wake up in the morning, we've been given the gift for another day. And we never know how long we have with that gift. The gift is special, it's beautiful. And so every day we should have gratitude just for the gift of life. He also gave us the energy and the power of love, both to love ourselves and to love others. He also gave us free will to be able to make decisions we have to make and to be able to develop our purpose and destiny in life. And along with that, he also took us and placed us into a family system. And the interesting thing about that process was all the families we were placed into and the ones we will meet from then on have something very much in common. It's called dysfunctionality, which, by the way, is normal. Why? Because last time I checked, each one of us is born as a human, and the families we enter into are human families. And as a result of being human families, they also are vulnerable. They make mistakes. And that's why we talk tonight about gratitude in a sense that sometimes from the negative comes the positive. We can learn everything from each aspect of life. So tonight I want to concentrate primarily on the gifts of life and the gift of family. You see, when you look at life, you look at the aspect of family, you look at the aspect of life itself. We have to realize something which is so important. We've all been given this beautiful gift. And that gift we've been given is connected to all different parts of us. We've been given a body. It's a housing. Inside that body, we've been given something called feelings, emotions, and an intellect. We've also been given a spirit, the uniqueness, the specialness that makes us who we are. It is our special uniqueness. Well, it's all placed into this housing called our body. And as we get older, the house gets older. And as we get older, everything else gets older too. We get some leaks, things begin to happen. They begin to make funny noises every once in a while. And as a result, we have to realize the fact that we're human. We also experience disease. We experience part of our humanness. We experience struggle. This is all part of our process of growth, our process of change. And yet I realized something very special. Life is the most powerful gift on the face of this earth. And yet I feel that many of us, in many ways, take it for granted, don't look at it in a very special way. Every morning when you awaken, you've been given the gift for another day. And we don't know how many days we have. And that's not important. The secret is take that gift of life and to live it to the best of our ability every day. And at the end of the day, to say another prayer of gratitude. Gratitude for the day, for the experiences, for the things we've gone through in the course of the day. Begin with gratitude, end with gratitude. Because gratitude is a magical word. It allows us to see things in a positive vein. And so we see the good side of things as a result of the aspect of gratitude. And gratitude for family. It's interesting in our growth process in life. We are going to experience many, many, many different types of family. The growth process will carry us in a lot of different directions. And many of our families were colorful, were a little bit on the wacky side, and much on the beauty side. They're all part of our family growth and our family process. I look back at my own family and I'm grateful for them. I learned a lot. It's amazing how much you can learn from every family system. Even though, was my family a little bit dysfunctional? I would say probably more than a little bit, but they were who they were. It's all part of it. And as a result, even systems and churches and all that kind of stuff, they all have their forms of dysfunctionality. We're all connected to that as part of the growth process of life, but they are family. And it's interesting when you look at this because I'm grateful in so many ways today for my family that I grew up in. Did they teach me things like control? Yeah. They teach me fear? Yeah. They teach me worry? Yeah. They teach me guilt? Yeah. All nice little traits. And over time, those traits were able to be developed into something positive. And even today, we have to still work on them. But each family system we experience another growth process, another aspect of life. Thomas Merton said it so beautifully. He said, no one is an island. No one stands alone. We need one another. If you study the history of Alcoholics Anonymous, when the program was put together, you will notice how Bill W. in the beginning kind of wanted to make it into a one-man show. But then Dr. Bob and a bunch of other good old-fashioned recovering drunks came along and helped him to form something called family. And so the Oxford movement that Bill W. was in, they took the elements of it, which is fellowship, family, connected, belonging, to be able to experience that gift of family. Teaching us over and over again, we're not meant to be alone. We're meant to be interacted and connected with others. I look at family and I realize God has given me the chance and the opportunity to be part of many families in my life. But every one of those families was a teachable moment, was a learning moment. Now, I'm no different than you. Sometimes I have to go through the family system, be able to look back on it, and then see the teachable moment. When you're in it, you don't always see it. It's amazing, isn't it? Some of the beautiful things my father taught me as a kid. I didn't remember them until years and years after he was gone. Then they all came to light. And so I was like, we have to come to light, then they come to light. It's part of the journey we go through in life. It's all part of it. So we learn from every experience. God sends different people into our group, our family. We learn from it. Bill and I remember a great family we had in the schoolyard at Mount Carmel. The connection we had together, the connection around people that we learned from, that became family. So we had another form of family. Each and every one of us in recovery have forms of new families. The beginning of starting point was in a family system. Thank God for 4021 Club members, South Philly members, and people that helped us put this little package together. No matter what we do, we have a sense of family. We experience it over and over again. It's not always blood family. As we go through the journey of life, we create new family systems, new developments, new areas of life. Things change. We change. The aspect of it changes. So we begin to experience new ways, new dimensions, new communities. I went from the family of the priesthood to the family of marriage, to the family of grandkids, to the family of daughters. All these wonderful things, they're all connections. They're all part of it. They're all part of that family system. It brings out this most important point. We have to be able to learn and discover from our family systems. I smile a lot sometimes when I look on the aspect of family systems and remember some very key individuals and people that we experienced in these family systems. Growing up in Camden in the 40s, I never knew that I was a numbers runner. I never realized it. I was 8 years old, and they would tell me, my uncle would tell me, to go to the Lopresti's, the corner grocery store, and pick up the groceries. Well, I didn't realize I came back with a bag of groceries on top or number slips on the bottom. I was running numbers at age 8. I didn't know what I was doing. All I know is I got a quarter for doing it, picking up the groceries. And so all these things you look back on, you smile, you laugh about it, you look at it differently. I remember my cousin Johnny Vendetti, never forget him. God rest his soul. On 3rd and Royden Street in Camden, he ran a luncheonette. Did you ever see a luncheonette with no lunch meat? It was a fantastic luncheonette. Of course, the back room was more important. What was going on in the luncheonette? I actually would get $1 to spend the whole day at the luncheonette telling people we didn't have any lunch meat. It sounds crazy. It sounds insane. But now I understand it. You also experience funny things from that. I remember the cops in Camden would, warn my cousin when they were going to get raided by the state police. And so when they got warned, they put everything away, they hid everything. And of course, all of a sudden, there was lunch meat at the luncheonette. And then next thing you know, the state police arrived. And I loved my cousin's 5-year-old son, when the state police were there, yanked his father's pants and said, "Daddy, I'll show the nice men where the stuff is." And my cousin spent 120 days in jail because his little 5-year-old son told the truth. And you have to just look back at the scriptures. Out of the mouths of infants and babes comes simplicity and praise. But the bottom line was, you can look back on that now and you can laugh about it. And there were a lot of tragedies too, and things in that direction, and losses and things we go through in the course of life. But it's all part of that change process, that family system process. I'm so grateful every day for all the different families, different things we experience, even the fun things, some of the insane stuff, the beautiful stuff, the struggles, the things we had to go through in life. It's just totally amazing. You come right down to it. When you look at and go back and look at your past and look at history, you realize, where did you learn everything from? The gift of life is to learn, to grow, to experience, to go through things, to be open to new things and new directions. So where do we learn it all from? We learn it from a family system. We can't isolate, we can't hide. We have to be part of the world that we live in. Is the world insane? Is it crazy? Is it nutty? Yeah. Do people create different crazy things in different parts? Yes. But the secret is, how do you, in the middle of all this, have a sense of your own beauty, have a sense of your own growth? How do you learn to look at things with an open mind? How do you learn from all the different families, different situations, neighborhoods, communities, cultural backgrounds, environment? All these things are part of family. They're part of our growth process as individuals. And that's exciting. And yet, you have to look at things through the eyes of gratitude, to be grateful, even to be grateful for those people who have passed on, not to forget, to realize the fact we've gone through losses in life. So we need to learn to say goodbye. We talked about that during the grief series. We have to learn to say hello. We can't answer a lot of questions in this world. And I don't want to answer a lot of the questions in this world. A lot of things are just supposed to be questions. That's all they're supposed to be. Why? Who knows? Why do things happen the way they happen? Why do we do the things that we do? Because we do. Now, I can either accept, adjust my life accordingly, learn from it, develop it in a positive way, but it's all part of that beautiful process of learning, that beautiful process of growing. It's interesting sometimes. A good friend taught me something about family, taught me a lot about life. And life is this beautiful journey. It's not difficult, it's simple. But it's a beautiful journey of learning, being humble, of experiencing, of growing, of making mistakes, of sometimes even going through all the different emotions and feelings and things that we have on the inside, to experience pain. And sometimes we have to do stupid things. It's all part of learning. It's all part of growing. I just went through that, because 2 weeks ago, I was collecting money, collecting food for the food bank. And the guy loaded my car up with stuff. So I drove in, and I didn't know inside there was a 50-pound box of frozen chicken. So I decided to lift it. Now I'm walking with a walker, and I got a walking stick at work, because I pulled something in my back. And tomorrow morning I go to physical therapy. Why? Because an 84-year-old thought he was 20 again, thought he was 25 again. And one of the things we learn in life is, well, we have to learn everything the hard way. And that's what family systems really are all about. They try to teach us. But what do we get caught up sometimes in the ego? We get caught up in thinking that I don't need help. I can control it. I can handle it. When in reality, we can't. So we have to learn how to say those words, those magical, beautiful, spiritual words. Help me. I need help. I can't do it. I don't know how. Aren't they wonderful things to say? How many times have you said, I've done it, we've all done it. When something happens in a house, I use the example, we had a leak in our garage. There's water all over the place. And right away, the amateur here, I decided what it was. We needed a new hot water heater, the thing, all kind of stuff and everything else. Then my wife very calmly said to me, let's call, let's call our brother-in-law. He's a plumber. Let him come over and tell us what it really is. And all that commotion, we then had to ask for help, ask family. He came over, and the bottom line was there was a valve up on top that wasn't, well, it was loose. It wasn't tightened properly, and water was leaking out of it. It was such a simple thing. It was unbelievable. We had it into a major catastrophe. I was ready to buy a new hot water heater, and my son-in-law said, "Not a damn thing wrong with your hot water heater. It's fine." All he did was go up there, tighten the thing. He said, "Now, can I go home?" I said, "Yeah, go ahead." The bottom line is we have to realize things in life that so many times we need the help of family members. We have to help each other out, be connected to one another. And that's where we learn that beautiful thing of honesty, that beautiful thing of humility, where I learned to realize the fact that I have to be able to stay within my own self, to stay within what I can do, what I can't do, but I need to be connected to a community of people. A starting point, we see that all the time. People call me up and they want to do this type of counseling, that type of counseling. And guess what? Sometimes they call me up and ask me to do different types of counseling. I have no idea what they're talking about. The old me would have, kind of, oh, wait a minute, I said. I wrote down what it was. I said, let me check it. I checked Google, and also I checked other therapists. When I found that it was what it was, then I called them back. Amazing, isn't it? Do some research, stay connected. But what do we do a lot of times? We want to have the answer to everything. Last time I checked, we're not Mr. or Mrs. Google. We are not Mr. and Mrs. Encyclopedia. We are human beings. That's why we need to be bonded to a family, to learn from our family systems, to grow from them. And, we need to learn how important it is. Our neighbors are part of our family. Our recovery programs are part of our family. I love it. Very many times we have people in my recovery program that will start out by saying, "Hi, my name is so-and-so." And they'll say, "Hi, family, my name is so-and-so." This is family. My sponsor, Richard, did that all the time. Because he looked around and all these people, this home group, my supports, people around me, it's family. When I see Vicky, I see family. When I see different people, I see family. I look around the room, John, Pat, the great maestro, I see family. All these things are family. Leslie, all of us, we're all connected. Laura, we're all connected together. We're family. We're connected to one another. We learn from each other. We grow. And people come in and out of the family. I was glad to connect with Joan again, to be back together with each other. It's been a long time, but the family goes, the family comes back, the family grows, moves in new directions. We all do that. So it begins with our childhood. It grows into schools and things of that effect. It grows into places we do, of course, of our journey in life. It might grow into marriage. It might grow into a relationship. It grows into a lot of things. We're always forming family, the aspect of family. That's why it's so important as we build this mosaic, that we make a big piece of this mosaic, the concept of the value of family, to be connected together with family. In our starting point family, I always give Loretta a hard time. It's part of my job. I checked my job description. It was there. It said that every so often just to aggravate her. And her job description is to aggravate me. That's what families are about, right? Come down to it. And so every once in a while, we go back and forth and back and forth. Today was a good example of family. I had the 12 o'clock lecture, and at 10 of 12, I couldn't get on the computer. The computer was telling me to give a passcode. I don't know a passcode. I don't know what I was doing. So what did I do? I yelled as loud as I could, Loretta! She came running into my room, tried to figure it out, couldn't figure it out. So she finally had to take somebody else's thing, one of our staff members, and put their name on there and got me in through their something, whatever it was. And then I noticed when the screen came on, my name was now Rich. And so she had to change my name back to Vince. And that all happened at 2 minutes of 12. We finally got on. We finally got connected. Family. That's what happens. Was I sweating? Yeah. I figured, oh, well, here we go. But yet somehow, some way, it always works out. Isn't that funny? And that's where three things come into play. If we truly want to be part of families, we got to learn and grow. We have to have faith. We have to have trust. We have to have patience. We have to realize that things will happen naturally and normally over a period of time. And every time we try to control or make things happen or try to force them to happen, no. Everything goes the way it's supposed to go, when it's supposed to go, and how it's supposed to go. And sometimes we're never going to be able to figure out how it all came together. I really believe in the concept of miracles. That things happen when they're supposed to happen. Things happen when we stop trying to figure it out. Somehow, some way, something always happens. That's where we have to have a sense of faith, to belong, to be connected. I don't want to go through life all alone and all by myself. I am so grateful to all the people I've met over the course of the journey. And that's why I got to do this gratitude list. And my sponsor bugs me all the time. Gratitude list, gratitude list, gratitude list. Be grateful. Even if you're hurting, you're going through changes, be grateful. Be grateful for the things that you lost in life. Be grateful, be grateful, be grateful. Sometimes, I want to do Italian therapy on some people with this gratitude thing, but you know what? It's real. It's truthful. That's why I picked that reading. I went over that reading 3 times today. That reading is so truthful. We can look at things through different sets of eyes. It comes down to us. One of my great friends, Father Martin, who used to give lectures years ago in recovery and drugs and alcohol, and he tells a story, and I'm one of his favorite stories, and I love it. They did an experiment. They had 2 rooms full of horse manure, and they took 2 young kids and put them in the rooms and see what their reaction was. About 2 hours later, they came back, and the one little boy was sitting there miserable. This room's got nothing but horse manure in it. I'm bored. I'm this. I'm that. Everything else. I went to the other kid. He had a shovel and was shoveling the horse manure like crazy. And they said, "What are you doing?" He said, "If there's that much horse manure there must be a horse somewhere." He was digging for the horse. See what I mean by positive attitude, gratitude? I'm grateful to have this manure because I'm going to find a horse. But the bottom line is we can look at it from 2 different ways. And so we have to somehow, some way, develop inside of ourselves. The series is about that, to be able to develop what I call an attitude of gratitude, an attitude of humility, an attitude of acceptance, an attitude of healing, of learning, growing. This is part of the mosaic we have to put together in our lives in order to be able to live a purposeful life. And I've learned over the years that when you finally do let go, build a sense of trust and faith, everything always kinds of happens when it's supposed to happen. But we're human. We get impatient. We try to push it, try to make it happen. Then we find out it doesn't. Then later on, we have to have faith and just realize the fact. Do you ever do something or want to get something done and it never gets done? And then one day out of the blue, it happens to come together. You can't figure out why. I don't know if it's real or not, but I've learned this. And to go back to family systems taught me this. Taught me some crazy stuff too, like when I had a cold, I was supposed to wear garlic around my neck. It's supposed to make my cold better. Yeah. Kept everybody away from me, that's for sure. So I didn't pass it on to anybody. Who the hell would hang around somebody with garlic around his neck? But the bottom line was you laugh at the funny stuff, but you also laugh at other things, things I consider to be magical, things that happen. You don't even know why they happen. Where do they come from? What's the secret behind it? You never know. And so I realized that faith and trust and belief, things go where they're supposed to go. And that's why I need support. I need people around me. I need to be able to experience other people in the course of my journey so I can learn to grow and develop and have a sense of who I am, have a purpose in life. You know, it's just amazing, amazing, amazing. The stronger I've built a family support system, people around me, they can develop and grow, how things just kind of happen in life. Things come to you. You don't know where they're even coming from sometimes. You don't need to know. You know, it's amazing when you come right down to it. See, that's what faith and trust and being open. So I think the thing I'd recommend to all of us is say a prayer of gratitude every day when you get up in the morning. Have gratitude for the gift of life. Be open to whatever's in store for you in the course of the day with an attitude of gratitude. I don't know where it's going to go, what's going to happen, you know. And then at the end of the day, get on your knees if you can and say thank you. Thank you for the gift of this day. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the experiences of this day. And that is the most important thing in the course of our journey in life. You know, some of the old timers used to say this in AA, and I love those guys. They were a little nuts, but I love them. They used to say, if you happen to wake up in the morning, first thing you do is you say, thank you for the gift of life. Do the best you can during the day. And at nighttime, say, thank you for the day. Go to sleep. If you happen to wake up the next morning, you start the process all over again. And they used to always say this because everybody used to get into this debating society about who you pray, who you saying these prayers to. They used to say, get up, say thank you for the gift of life, and don't worry about who you're thanking or who you're talking to. It's not important. Just live the day to the best of your ability. Deal with the things you have to deal with, but don't do it alone. Do it with others. Ask for help, ask for guidance, ask for direction. We learned that. One of those beautiful definitions that I heard of God in the program, God, good orderly direction. To be open to learn, to be open to grow, to be open to new things, to go in new directions. And the AA people change that a little bit and they say God, group of drunks getting together, celebrating one another. But it's all part of the process, right, Les? It's all part of it. It's all part of our growing process in life. We need to do that together. You know, diversity really creates family, creates beauty, it creates all kinds of things in life. And even be open to new things, new directions, new concepts. You learn that from different families. And even if you happen to go, you're connected to your family system, you learn from other families too. And so our first two levels of gratitude, we concentrate on the aspect of life and family. They're connected, they go together. They're who we are. We're on this journey to be part of a family system to learn to grow from, to be part of the human race that we live in, to be able to reach out and touch others and be part of others, but above all, to learn from others, to grow from one another with gratitude and with love. Attitude of gratitude That reading's right. It makes negative things positive. Sometimes we gotta say goodbye. A good friend of mine used to say this all the time. He said, "What is death? It just means your house got leaky, you had to leave." That's all. And so the concept is, as we get older, it leaks even more. As we get older, it makes more noises. As we get older, we don't know. So what? It's all part of it. It's all part of the process. So we see that. Don't get too broken down, though. Keep repairing. Keep it going. But you need help to do that. People around you to do that. Always a gift of gratitude. Just for the day. So my prayer tonight is that we will try to live each of our lives with an attitude of gratitude, and we'll be open to be part of the journey, to be part of the family of the world, the family of our communities, all the families we are a part of, and to be open to learn from each other. So let us pray. God, we come before you. We ask the God of our understanding, the divine presence, to guide us, be with us, and help us. Thank you so much for the beautiful gifts you've given us, the gift of life, the gift of love, the gift to be able to make our own decisions. But help us, please. Teach us the gift of humility, to be able to say the words, help me, to ask for guidance, to ask for direction. But above all, we ask the God of our understanding, in a spirit of gratitude and love, for the gifts of each things we experience in the course of our journey in life. On given days, just be grateful for the food in front of us. Be grateful for the people that can help us and guide us. Be open. Teach us to be open to learn. For you are a great teacher and a great lover. And you love us, I know. But help us on this human journey to realize that we are human beings. We are spiritual people. We are spiritual people in human bodies. And that's where our imperfections are also part of our learning and part of our growing. So we ask for your guidance, we ask for your direction, and we ask for the gift of gratitude, for the gift of life, and for the gift of family. We pray and we ask this in your name. Amen.